AI is transforming business efficiency across all sectors, but alongside its benefits come serious legal and compliance challenges. From data privacy to human error, understanding these risks is now crucial for responsible adoption. And joining us today is Katie Richards from Virtual Legal. It's good to have you in the studio. What types of tasks are businesses using AI to replace or human tasks?
Thanks for having me, Mike. It's really interesting to see not just where people are using it for marketing and content creation, but they're also using it to review legal agreements, draft legal agreements, and they're also using it to draft responses in disputes. So where they're doing that, they have to make sure that they're actually priming the AI well, because asking poor questions will obviously give you a poor response. And in Australia, at a minimum, the laws are changing from state to state and sometimes region to region. So unless they're priming the AI to say, make sure you're giving me a response relevant to Queensland, to Brisbane, to the area that that dispute is actually taking place. Now, the average punter may not realise they should be asking these additional questions because they may not realise that the laws are changing from
That's
area
such an important thing to consider, and I know it's very exciting to sit down and watch ChatGPT spew out a series of information, but of course some of these legal documents are quite long and not everyone's going to go through it, so please do your due diligence as Katie's just outlined. But what are the biggest risks when it comes to data storage, privacy and cyber attacks? This stuff's in the news all the time.
Yeah, absolutely. So you have to look into the terms behind the AI app that you're choosing to use for that purpose. See where the data is being stored. You may have to actually say where the storage is happening within the app so that you can put that in your privacy policy. So if you get breached, you may not be able to rely on your cyber insurance if you haven't followed the privacy policy. Also, you have to give consideration to whether you're leaking confidential information of clients. And also keep in mind that where you are not priming the system well, you may be putting incorrect information. So there's a barrister recently who was struck off for for giving a case that was incorrect to the court, and so that's obviously issue.
That's a huge issue. That's not just which makes sense. But of course, again, getting excited about this technology and jumping right into it is where people fall into these holes. But how does human behaviour, do you think, affect outcomes when interacting with automated systems, like we will be doing more and more of?
Yeah, absolutely. So you have to remember that humans aren't always going to just be able to use a machine. So say, for example, if you were a psychologist and you're using an app that people are going to be texting when they're having issues going on, you don't know if that person is suicidal. So if you needed some kind of facial recognition AI also to help in that process, you're not going to have that if you're just using a texting one alone, and they may not pick up on cues that could sort of give that additional information that is needed in that situation. Now, can you actually contract out of liability for that and the duty of care that person might have had to the potential client? It depends on what the app terms are saying, and not everyone reads the terms because they're so excited about downloading the AI app that they just get on with it. They could also be downloading malware.
Yeah, 110%, some good advice in there as well. But what can't AI do yet when it comes to legally bulletproofing your business, regardless of prompts, regardless of the amount of time you spend tatting out and saying, hey, have we covered every base, rah, 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 rah?
Yeah, look, I don't think the AI perfectly can tell you what you should be doing across the full spectrum of your client journey. So unless you're an incredibly amazing person at priming what you're looking for, I think you need a lawyer that is AI pro, that will actually say, okay, what's your customer journey? Where are you using AI? Let's look at the terms of each of those apps that are being integrated, where the risks are, and then seeing where you can actually carve out liability or insure for some of those liabilities. So as a director within a company, you have to act in the best interest of the company. Otherwise, you're breaching your director's duties under the Corporations Act. So it's really incredibly important that you're bulletproofing your business and being really conscious of where the risks are and then addressing them.
Yeah, some very good advice in there. Katie, is this the sort of thing you're seeing more and more of crop up as businesses start to engage with AI technology? Is this
Heaps, absolutely, yeah, because we do business health checks all the time and we focus on that AI element quite a lot. Regardless of what it's, a field agnostic, there's so many different types of businesses, but they're all using AI in one way or another. Some of them don't even realise.
Yeah, and that's, the danger lies in there as well. But if people do want to continue this conversation, engage with your services or someone from the team, where's the best avenue to get involved and start learning a little bit more to bulletproof some of these processes moving forward and secure their businesses in an AI-led future?
Yeah, absolutely. So probably the best place to go would either be my LinkedIn profile. So that's Katie Richards on LinkedIn, and I'll be putting out some articles articles there, and also come to Virtual Legal. So that's virtuallegal.com.au, and we'll be able to sign you up for a business health check there and have a really good look at what you're doing, and then let you know where you can start in protecting yourself.
I'm glad there are people like you out there keeping an eye on this stuff, because it moves at such a rapid pace. I don't know how you do it, but I appreciate your time.
It's very exciting.
It's as exciting as it is scary.
Yes, yes.
Katie, thank you for joining me on the program today.
Thanks, Mike.